In 1929, a young and eager 23-year-old hailing from Streator, Illinois named Clyde Tombaugh was hired as a junior astronomer at the world-famous Lowell Observatory located in Flagstaff, Arizona. He was given a specific task: to systematically and meticulously search for a rumored ninth planet, dubbed Planet X, theorized to exist in the far and icy reaches of the solar system, well beyond the orbit of Neptune.
You see, at the time, Clyde Tombaugh was a complete unknown. Certainly no one in the astronomical community had ever heard of him. I suppose his parents knew who he was. Maybe a few people in Streator, Illinois. Who knows? No one at Lowell Observatory had ever heard of him. The director kept asking, "Who the hell is this person who's coming in every day and using our telescope?" It was a very tense situation.
Using the observatory's state-of-the-art 13-inch telescope, Tombaugh tirelessly exposed an almost endless series of large photographic plates of the starry heavens. Finally, on February 18, 1930, after 1 year of exhaustively comparing these photographic plates with a blink comparator, Clyde Tombaugh discovered the elusive Planet X, later named Pluto.
So when Pluto was first discovered, people thought that it was at least as big as the Earth, maybe even a little bit bigger, but of course very cold and very dark. If we compare it to Mars, imagine Mars, but really, really cold, and really, really dark, and really, really far away. I guess that's not really a good comparison at all. But the point is, the discovery of Pluto came at a really good time for America. It came right during the Great Depression, there weren't enough planets to go around, people were feeling really desperate. And Clyde Tombaugh came along, and he gave hope to the American people.
For 76 glorious years, Pluto remained a proud member of our solar system. Then, in 2005, a challenger to the mantle of the true ninth planet was discovered. Later named Eris, for the Greek goddess of strife, this trans-Pluto usurper caused a schism amongst the normally subdued astronomical community. Things came to a head in 2006 as the International Astronomical Union inexplicably decided to strip Pluto of its planetary status. Worldwide reaction was swift and harsh. In an emergency session of the New Mexico legislature, state representatives drafted a decree re-establishing Pluto's status as the one true ninth planet for all time.
It was a great tragedy when Pluto was demoted. Remember that day like it was yesterday. All the references to Pluto had to be erased. School children across the country cried when the government came to rip Pluto from their textbooks. Fortunately, a few brave legislatures spared New Mexico residents from this horrible travesty. The horror of that day.
In 1955, Clyde Tombaugh joined New Mexico State University and founded the university's Department of Astronomy. An oasis of learning in the New Mexican desert, once reserved for a few stray yucca plants and the testing of atomic weapons, the department has blossomed into a world-renowned research institute. Early on, Clyde Tombaugh set the high standards of research and education that live on to this day. His portrait now hangs in the front hallway of the astronomy building.
The Department of Astronomy that Clyde Tombaugh started is totally awesome! And all the astronomy faculty and grad students that work here are totally awesome too. Well, most of them anyway. Come to think of it, some of them are kind of jerks. If Clyde Tombaugh were still around, a few of them would get booted right out on the street where they belong. Actually, he could toss all of them out for all I care. They don't appreciate me enough around here.
Recently, a legion of new astronomy students necessitated the conversion of several old storage rooms into modern offices. While rummaging through a forgotten back room, weary graduate students uncovered a veritable treasure trove of old films, documenting the history of the department. These intrepid graduate students painstakingly restored reel after brittle reel of priceless film. They did not rest until every single frame had been rescued from the unforgiving ravages of time. Exhausted but triumphant, the students were delighted to discover a vintage-era documentary relating Clyde Tombaugh's dramatic discovery of Planet X. The Astronomy GSO now presents this important historical film to the viewing public for the very first time. It should be noted that historians have, as of yet, been unable to verify the authenticity of this film. Therefore, it is possible that events may not have transpired exactly as depicted here.